Great.
Ready to go?
Yeah, we are ready to go. So this is just another progress update on how things are going with digital learning in the division, which, as you know, is a key part of the strategic plan and the goals that you just heard about in terms of personalizing the learning experience. And so we've got Dr. Cashwell here and Charlie Hinch with us as well to talk about that progress.
Good evening, Chairman Edwards, Vice Chair Anderson, school board members, and Dr. Spence. So the Teaching and Learning Instructional Technology team is more than pleased to be with you tonight to provide you a second workshop this school year on our digital learning transformation. So you may remember that during the last workshop, we spent some time around a particular learning target, which was to understand how digital learning is a pathway towards personalized learning by increasing flexibility with respect to how and when learning occurs, which is, of course, directly aligned to Compass 2020 and Goal 2, Strategy 2. And during the last workshop, we also shared with you a video clip from a presentation in which Susan Patrick, the CEO and president of iNACOL, which is a foundation around blended and online learning, and she's a leading expert, spoke to us around that topic. And we actually showed you a clip from the keynote address that she gave our ITSs as we kicked off the school year. And so Susan really challenged us to change our notions around traditional schools to ensure that we're creating opportunities to empower our kids. And she really painted this global picture for us and really helped us to understand how we're in this very exciting space and time in education, globally, not just nationally, but globally, to really change the way we're thinking about the way we are providing opportunities to truly empower kids. And so as she painted that picture for us, we asked you as a board to stop and ponder this question. How do we make the shift to student-centered learning? And you all engaged in some powerful dialogue around that topic. And before we left that evening, we really tried to ground ourselves around the following thinking. That it is not about layering technology over old environments, right? We're not layering technology over old environments. It's about creating, designing, and really co-creating with our students environments that not only empower them, that meet their fundamental needs, but that really fill in gaps and remove gaps and make sure that every student is on a trajectory to success. So to accomplish that very worthy and very lofty goal, we explained to you how there's really a very purposeful plan in place. So everything from Compass to 2020 to the teaching and learning framework to the vision that was set forth around our ITS program. All of those components work hand in hand towards helping us meet that goal. And so certainly we launched off at the beginning of the school year and provided an update around that. But tonight we're going to be able to provide for you some progress on our journey thus far and actually share some vignettes and stories regarding our progress to date. So that's our purpose this evening. And Charlie Hinch, one of our instructional technology coordinators, is going to provide that and lead you through the workshop tonight. But before I turn it over to Charlie, I'd like to recognize our instructional technology team. Bill Johnson, our director. We also have several of our instructional technology coordinators here tonight. I see Kim Adams, Sheila Terry, and Marie Booz in the back if they would wave. I would just like to give a shout out to them as they are so passionate about this work and driving the work forward. And so Charlie is going to kick off the presentation, and then he'll actually formally introduce some other very special guests we have with us tonight from our school. So without further ado, Charlie.
Thank you, Dr. Cashwell. You're going to notice the theme tonight of nautical. So my team, or my crew, and I are really excited to be here today to provide you with an update of digital learning and how digital learning is changing the way students learn and how teachers teach here at the beach. You know, when you plan a journey, you must be careful to balance the need for careful and strategic planning with the understanding that we must be really flexible when charting our course. Think about the last time you took a trip. There's a lot of planning that goes involved with that. This graphic here is to help us paint a picture and to map out some of our strategic moves, as well as to highlight variances that may be encountered along the way. Our journey begins in 2015-2016, this school year, and it points towards our full goal of full implementation in 2020. The islands you see represent our yearly ports of call, where we can stop to reflect on our journey, pick up some needed supplies, and make any navigational adjustments as we continue to chart our course towards 2020. This graphic provides you with a bird's eye view of our navigational plan, and the teaching and learning team has developed a critical path which serves as our navigational beacon to guide us in our work. For some reason this one went off. Okay. Doesn't that look nice? Notice the various vessels on the screen. They range from a large yacht to a smaller speedboat to even a jet ski, each one different from the next while still all moving through the open seas. Imagine now that these vessels represent various schools in our divisions, or you can even imagine that they represent teachers at any given building. As we chart the course towards 2020, we have some schools moving at full speed ahead, while others are keeping a steady pace, taking their navigational cues from the crew ahead of them. Oftentimes within a school, teachers may choose to travel in large groups, such as illustrated by the yacht, or they may choose to move at a slower pace, as illustrated by the speedboat or even the one-man jet ski. The pace at which each group powers forward may depend on their level of interest and expertise. No matter the size of the vessel, we are all moving towards the horizon of Compass to 2020. Back to our graphic. So, throughout the presentation, we will drop anchor at various spots so that we may highlight for you some details of our journey thus far. Our first anchor illustrates where we started this journey, back in 2015, 2016, beginning of the school year. It seems like yesterday. However, let's quickly review the preparations for getting underway that have made this journey so successful to support the digital learning that is in Compass 2020. So, as you saw, we just dropped an anchor at the start of the 2015-2016 school year. You will recall that we launched 2 vessels to chart our course towards a digital learning transformation. Our first vessel, there's that yacht again, is our anchor schools. Anchor schools may be thought of as that yacht you just saw. Their expert crew and large vessel equipped with a plethora of digital tools and strategy is not only evaluating pedagogy and devices among their own crew, but are also helping to relay their navigational directions to the vessels traveling with them. The other vessel carries a crew representing all of our other schools, also focused on transforming student learning in a digital environment. On board the vessel, serving as the first mates, are our instructional technology specialists, or ITSs. We've now dropped another anchor at the point along our voyage, which represents division-wide professional learning for the crews aboard both vessels. While this appears as one stop on our voyage, professional learning is ongoing throughout the year. The Department of Teaching and Learning has been busy working to provide effective professional learning throughout the school year for teachers, specialists, and administrators. The focus of this professional development has been around the SAMR model, helping to keep our rudders on course for quality digital integration so that it is transformative rather than simply as a substitute for learning. We do not want technology to simply be a substitute for change. We want technology to redefine learning and allow for the creation of new tasks previously inconceivable. This popular illustration of the SAMR model by Sylvia Duckworth is used throughout the district. Notice that the S stands for substitution. Examples of technology use that would fall into substitution category would be possibly using Microsoft Word instead of paper and pencil. The task writing is the same, however the tools are different. An example to augment this would be to use Microsoft OneNote as a note-taking tool, using the highlighting tool, the dictionary tool, and the notes tool to help rebuild that information for the students. Another example would be using an iPad for a digital textbook. The concept reading is the same, but how can we bring that further along the SAMR model? If they're going to augment it, we can have them use the built-in dictionary and the highlighter and the note-taking feature so that they can use that again at another time. Later on, you're going to see some examples from our schools that fall towards the transformational side of the SAMR schedule. As schools represent both crews, as crews from both schools and vessels are here to present. Remember that we told you that the first mate on these vessels are the ITSs. We continue to work with them to polish their skills as instructional coaches. To do this, we have partnered with leading professional organizations known for their expertise in both instructional pedagogy, as we see here with VASCD, as well as technology integration, for example, VISTI. As a reminder, the focus of intensive professional learning has been geared towards the instructional technology specialist. They then bring that information that they've learned back to their schools and provide on-site PLP for their teachers. On board each vessel, it's important that the crew's luggage is packed with the essential tools to aid the voyage. In addition to professional learning, a variety of digital resources have been purposely embedded throughout the curriculum to address curricular and instructional needs for teachers and students that helps keep us strategically charting the course towards 2020. As we drop our third anchor, let's take a moment to examine the progress that the first vessel has launched, as in the Digital Learning Anchor Schools, as they are making progress towards reaching the key teacher and student outcomes that they developed earlier this year. The 11 Digital Anchor Schools have been extremely busy focusing on implementing technology that supports instruction in their school. Each month, the Digital Anchor Schools get together to share new ideas, new trends in technology, as well as tools, and how this can be implemented into their schools. They also spend lots of time working on their teacher and student outcomes that they developed early on in their voyage. As a reminder, you can follow the Digital Anchor Schools on Twitter by searching the hashtag DBAnchor or by visiting their blogs off of the DB Anchor page on bbschools.com. Anchor Schools received a variety of computing devices that include HP and Dell laptops, an Asus tablet, a Chromebook, as well as iPads to help them with their digital shift. A part of the purpose of the Anchor Schools is to examine detailed feedback from teachers, students, and parents regarding the use and effectiveness of these devices. This is to help them stay on course towards meeting those important teacher and student goals that we talked about. Also on our journey, you will recall that all of our Digital Anchor Schools recently hosted learning walks. It was great to see so many of you there. The staff at each of the anchor sites were excited that you were there and sharing in their learning. While these learning walks came really early on in the voyage, it was clear to see the excitement of the crews as they set sail on this maiden voyage. We look forward to hosting future learning walks this coming next school year. To further our opportunities to have a telescopic view, please be reminded that each of you received an invitation to participate in the Digital Anchor School Showcase coming up on Wednesday, April 20th at Great Neck Middle School. During this showcase, the Anchor School vessel will be docked, ready to welcome you aboard so they may share with you vignettes of their travels thus far. You and other participants will have the opportunity not only to examine artifacts from their journey, but also to rate and provide feedback regarding each school's progress in meeting student and teacher outcomes. We hope to see each and every one of you at this exciting event. As we approach the island known as 2016-2017 school year, we are preparing to drop anchor and formalize plans for the expansion of the Digital Learning Anchor School program. We will be adding additional schools according to funding. Learning from our experience thus far, our plan is to minimally add to the Anchor School group using the go slow to go fast mentality, understanding that as we approach 2017 and 2018, the expansion will be on a larger scale to pick up speed to reach our final destination. Regardless of the speed, rest assured that rest assured that frequent anchor drops will happen along the way to ensure that nobody steers off course. In keeping with the telescopic view, let's take a sneak peek into both vessels, the anchor and the non-anchor schools, as they move full steam ahead into digital integration. Remember in our SAMR model, we told you the goal is for schools to move to the transformational end of the model. Now I'd like to welcome some more of my crew from our schools out in the field. Will staff members from Windsor Oaks Elementary School, Thorogood Elementary School, Plaza Middle School, and Tallwood High School please stand to be recognized for being here. And I'd like to extend a thank you to the administrators. All right. First up, we have Cassandra Griffin and Dina Hubble from Windsor Oaks Elementary School. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Dina Hubble, and I am the IPS at Windsor Oaks Elementary School. I was contacted by Mrs. Griffin, who teaches 4th grade, to help her find a tool to meet the needs of one of her students who has difficulty typing. I was researching a variety of tools that would allow a talk-to-text feature. This was also about the time Virginia Beach launched the Google Apps for Education, and I was able to find an add-on within Google Docs called Speech Recognition that worked great. I tested it out and thought it would work perfectly for our student Destiny. I was able to introduce the tool to Mrs. Griffin, who was then able to introduce it to Destiny. And Destiny became the first student at Windsor Oaks to have and use her Google student account.
Hi. Destiny was very easily able to navigate through the speech recognition add-on. She caught on almost immediately. She's able to follow the steps necessary to get the add-on started. Previously, it was difficult for Destiny to type, and it would take her a long time to complete written assignments. Due to the laborious task of typing, Destiny would have trouble collecting her thoughts and would lose track of her ideas as she was writing. Now, Destiny absolutely loves to write. The speech recognition add-on helps Destiny to write more efficiently. She's better able to communicate her ideas through written expression. Recently, she used the speech recognition add-on to complete her developmental reading assessment. This helped me get a better idea of her reading ability. We have brought Destiny to you via video technology so that you may see her excitement in using this tool.
Period. Period. I am going to show my grandma my C3 game and my progress. And I might go to the store with her. Period. I was excited when Miss Griffin first showed me the program because I knew that Miss Sipes wouldn't have to keep telling me to come on and type. I could just say what I wanted to type onto the computer and it would type it for me.
The add-on has allowed Destiny a way to actively participate in tasks which were previously difficult for her to accomplish. Now, by using speech recognition add-on, Destiny actively participates in writing activities without assistance, including her DRA, which has again helped me get a better view of her reading ability. She is now a more confident writer. We appreciate the opportunity to share Destiny's story. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dina and Cassandra. Okay, now I'd like to welcome Troy Saunders from Thorogood Elementary School, who will be sharing how technology has changed the way he teaches and how students learn in his class. Thank you, Troy.
Good afternoon. I have an amazing class, as you can see here, even though this picture probably doesn't prove it. And what makes them even more amazing is what they can accomplish now that we're a one-to-one school. Student learning has improved because computers allow each student to work independently and at their own pace. They allow each child a choice in their modality that they'll receive the information. The children use the internet to research. They read clips on the laptop. They access a list of suggested books and view movies, all with individual teacher guidance during that time. Student learning has also improved because they have a voice and choice in how they present their gained knowledge. They have chosen to use PowerPoint, Google Slides, Common Craft videos, movie trailers, TED Talk youth presentations of their makerspace items, created models. They use emails, frames, they use Wixie, and the list goes on and on and on. This has allowed me to see much more creativity than in the past. One-to-one laptops have really changed my teaching and impacted student learning. I often use an app called Seesaw to record model conferences at night. Students can view this recorded conference from their home or in the classroom while I'm conferencing with another student. Using Seesaw also allows parents to access the conference and support their child's learning. Using Google Docs for a conference sheet allows me to review student work at home and share it with them for review in the morning. Students can also access this conference sheet from home. Programs such as Google Hangout allow my children to reach out and work collaboratively Glad I got through that word, by the way. With other students in the classrooms. We have Skype with teachers in other schools, states, and even other countries. Google Hangout has been used by my students to discuss research items that they've come up with field experts. Sharing Google Docs and slides allows students to collaborate on research and presentations. Student learning has also improved because my ESL students are no longer isolated by their language barrier due to the use of programs like Google Translate. Students with vision limitations can Zoom or have the text read to them. Parent interaction is now at an unbelievable level. Computers and programs like Seesaw and Google Classroom has allowed my classroom to become transparent and open. They allow the parents to see their child's work in their portfolio, hear them recorded during guided reading, see pictures or videos of daily progress, and to hear in the students' own words as they set their goal for the next week. This allows the parent unprecedented access to their child's strengths and needs. I now collect data quickly and provide instant feedback for remediation. Programs like quizzes, Google Forms allow me to formatively assess the student's knowledge and quickly form differentiated groups for instruction. These same programs give the student instant feedback and allow parents to provide support when the children are completing work at home. This is a little glimpse into my classroom. What I'd like for you to notice is the number of different objectives you hear that they're working on. I want you to take notice of the range of voice and choice of what they're doing.
All right, ladies, what subject are we working on?
Features of the ocean floor.
Okay, and what are you doing?
A Conocraft video.
Okay, thanks. Okay, sir, what are you doing?
I'm on FoodWeb.
Food Web. What are you making? What's your model?
It's a PowerPoint.
PowerPoint. Sir, what are you doing?
Motions of the ocean.
Motion of the Ocean. And what are you working on?
Foldable.
Foldable. Okay. Sir, what are you working on?
I'm working on a foldable.
Okay. What is your subject?
Humans, how they impact the environment.
Okay. Human impact. Thank you, sir. Okay. What are you working on, sir?
Ocean floor.
Ocean floor. What are you making?
A Google Slides.
Google slide. All right. Thank you, sir. Ladies, what are we doing?
We're working on FoodWeb.
Food Web. What are you making?
A real life model.
Real model. Okay. Thank you, ladies.
Was that the second or the third take?
Glasses on. I invite all of you to come and see my amazing students. And thank you for providing the resources that allow these students to reach their full potential. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you hadn't had the chance to visit Troy's classroom, it's pretty amazing. Okay, I'd like to invite Mark Shaw and William Laney from Plaza Middle School. Mark and William will be sharing an example from their MYP classroom. And even though this is an example from an MYP classroom, science inquiry can be seen throughout the science classrooms of Plaza Middle School. As the MYP teachers and other teachers work on science inquiry together.
Thank you very much for letting us come here tonight. Recently we were preparing for one of our units in 6th grade on force, work, and energy. And we were looking at how it had been taught before and asking ourselves a simple question of how can we make it more authentic, more of a 21st century learning experience for our kids. And so in this unit, some of the things we've done before were to use classroom lectures, discussions. There were some really fun labs that the kids could do. They used some simple materials, things that teachers could get a hand on, like paper supplies, string, cardboard, things like that. But we were looking to integrate technology into this and to really do something really cool with our kids. And so I talked to Mr. Laney about this as the ITS of Rick Plaza, and Well, our school had recently acquired some 3D printers, and this seemed like the perfect fit for what we wanted to do. It would allow our students to design their own small scale models of some turbine blades for wind energy, and they could then test them for efficiency and functionality.
Okay. Oh, going the wrong way here. There we go. To get this project off the ground, we first sought parental permission and we created Tinkercad accounts for our students. Tinkercad is an online 3D design tool that's free for use and allows our users to access the site from home and at school. They were able to very quickly, in about a 1 hour lesson, pick up the basic 3D design using Tinkercad. We also placed one of our Polar 3D printers in Mr. Shaw's classroom so that they could print throughout the day, every day, because one of the constraints of 3D printing is that it is a very time-consuming process. We discovered that students very quickly mastered the art of 3D design.
And we got these designs by looking at what the professionals did in their fan blades and by researching in these books we had around the class that Mr. Shaw brought in.
Found that they learned how 3D printers worked and the impact that size and shape had not only on the design process but on the efficiency of a turbine.
These are some of the things we printed. They take about 35 minutes to 2 hours based on the complexity and how big they are. And after that, we test them with the wind turbine to see how well they perform.
Does anybody see anything about this design that would probably reduce resistance? Keith?
The test of the blade.
Tilted. What else? Oh, there's only 4. The number of blades, does that matter?
Yes.
Sure does. Yes, Jesse?
The tip of it is light.
The tip is light, focused to a point. That's true. Any other comments about this one? Yeah.
Lack of length.
Lack of length. They're kind of a medium length, aren't they? Do you remember, was a longer blade better or worse?
Worse.
Ah, but was a shorter blade really good?
No.
We wanted something, what?
Medium.
In between. Well, we've got something in between here, yeah? All right, well, let's see how well this works, shall we?
So now we're going to see how that works, right?
Let's see how well it works.
So they brought in an exact replica what the students use in their classrooms with some blades that the students created.
And this was hooked up to a voltmeter so they could measure energy and efficiency.
Right now, and the 2 that I've passed out are actual pieces of work that the students have put together. A voltmeter would have told us the output energy so we could see which was the most efficient design. And as you saw in this previous video, the students were constantly discussing and deciding how they could redesign, go back, and through this they were really able to learn the curriculum for that unit extremely well. One of the biggest takeaways that we have from this is that the students loved it. They were so engaged almost instantly. I've heard them talking in the meantime about when can we do some more 3D printing, or what else can we use this for. I've actually seen individual students bringing in other things that have been printed and whatnot using this technology. I'm really happy that we have them at our school. In the end, we basically took a really solid unit of the curriculum, integrated some 3D printing technology, and engaged the students in a way that I haven't seen too many times in my career. So from a student's perspective, though, converting this lesson into a 3D activity really changed their idea about how learning can take place.
This activity changed my learning because it felt like it was more hands-on for me than cutting out cardboard, because I got to make it and then it happened right in front of me. Also, I got to learn how to 3D print, which was really a new experience for me.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I'd like to welcome Gail Hardigan and Heather Comer from Tallwood High School, who are going to share with us how they're using Google Hangouts to provide professional development for teachers outside of school hours and outside of school. Yes, correct.
Good afternoon, Dr. Spence and members of the board. My name is Gail Hargan. I'm the ITS at Tallwood High School, and this is Heather Comer, our English department chair. And we're here today to tell you how we're using Google Hangouts for professional development. And Google Hangouts, I'm sure most of you know, but are similar to FaceTime and Skype, where you have real-time connections in a meeting room type of environment. Virginia Beach is well known for its professional learning communities and offerings. Teachers are offered a plethora of courses to help them meet their instructional and personal goals. So our why is not about why we offer professional development, but it's rather about why choose a format different from the traditional face-to-face that we've been using in the past. I've been teaching citywide and school-based professional development courses for years, and sometimes they're very well attended and sometimes not so much. So I asked the teachers in my building, what could I do? What could we do? What's holding you back? What do you use as decision-making tools for when you choose your PD classes? And here's some of the things that they said. They didn't say nothing. I just can't turn my page. There we go. So teachers said that they didn't like traveling around town after school hours. They said that they didn't like fighting traffic, and they sometimes weren't familiar with the buildings that they were going to. Sometimes they felt that the classes were a little impersonal and they didn't really have a chance to have a voice in those classes. And many just said that the times that they were offered just weren't quite convenient for what their needs were. So we decided to give Google Hangouts a try as an alternative. We've used Hangouts to connect our students to peers around the globe. We also, at Tallwood, used a Hangout for our Teacher of the Year, Jenna Free. Her parents were in Ohio and New York when she got her award at our school, so we did Google Hangout and brought them right in, and they were able to be right there with her as she got her award in our school. So why not use it for professional development? And I had teachers who were excited to give it a try. The classes are small in Google Hangouts because they're limited to 10 people. This is synchronous learning, so we meet at the same time, but in the comfort of our homes or wherever one chooses to participate. For example, one of my colleagues in this class is pregnant. She's due next month. And she also has a 3-year-old daughter. Professional development isn't always easy for her to arrange, but she hasn't missed a single PD meeting because she's meeting from home, and sometimes she has her daughter curled up right beside her while she's taking her course. What makes this format great for our teachers is the flexibility of meeting anywhere. Out of the practice field, at a cafe, at home, or who knows, maybe even at the beach. With your kids, your spouse, your pet. This is professional development brought to you. Our current class is a book study on teaching the iGenerator, and it's a 15-hour professional development course. That's a huge time commitment from our faculty. 5 hours of this class is spent in the Hangout environment, and this is our collaboration time, our discussion time, and brainstorming time for all the colleagues that are in the class. And we're from several different disciplines as well: science, social studies, English, and Chinese. We've built a bond together as we meet in our monthly meetings, and the other components of the class are reading the book and creating and implementing a lesson plan from something that they've learned from the book. So as colleagues, we're learning together and supporting each other in this personalized learning. Teachers are also implementing what they're learning through the SAMR model. And additionally, teachers are learning how to use Hangouts as a tool with their own classes. So I have Heather here who can tell you why she enjoys doing professional development in a Hangout.
So guys, again, BCPS, I've taken and facilitated a lot of PLP classes. This class is pretty much amazing and groundbreaking. Because of the level of engagement by the participants, everyone is 100% in the moment and prepared. Class starts at 7 p.m., not 7:01, 7 o'clock. No one's leaving, no one's late arriving, no one has technology issues. And go on about the convenience, such as no one gets lost, caught in traffic, no one's stepping out to make a phone call, no one is trying to find a vending machine. Everyone is in the moment. Everyone knows the protocol and is prepared 100% to be engaged in a collaborative discussion for the full time. It's great to be in a class with highly motivated colleagues with a wealth of experiences from different disciplines. This kind of collaboration almost never occurs during the school day. It's almost impossible to schedule. The class is fun and engaging, and best of all, I'm taking it from the comfort of my home, and I'm using the strategies in my classroom that I'm getting from the PLP. So I'm pretty enthusiastic. It's awesome. Wave of the future. Thank you.
All right. So in closing, we'd like to encourage others to try the less traditional but transformative ways of delivering professional development. And by the way, when we leave here tonight, we have our final hangout at 7 p.m. So we're going to be meeting with our colleagues, and we'll be reporting back on this meeting. And my other teachers will meet from wherever they are. Thank you.
Are these yours?
Oh, yes.
I want to thank all my representatives from the school for sharing what they're doing out at their schools. It's so hard to get out to the schools and see what they're doing every day, but this is just a glimpse of what they're doing. So if I can, just everyone, thank you again so much. Thank everyone for giving us time today to share with our journey from October to now, or actually way back when we first started this journey of Compass to 2020. We're excited with what's going on. We can't wait to see where the future takes us, and we look forward to continuing this conversation with you sometime in the near future. And we look forward to seeing you at the Compass to 2020 Digital Anchor School Showcase on April 20th. Any questions?
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yep.